All right, what's good, y'all? Market recap 10/22/2025. I did not take a trade today. I had two questions. One was a 958 short. The other was a 1036 mech. I'll go over both of those. However, let's go over what I was looking at first coming into this day. So, coming into market open, this is what I had marked out. We're not inside of this daily fair value gap yet. So what I wanted to see was some form of manipulation. Oh my god, why does it do this shit? Some form of manipulation into this daily fair value gap. Here's what it looks like on the lower time frames. And then from there, we can look for longs. So the daily fair value gap was sitting exactly at the same spot as previous day lows. We also had lows inside of this 4-hour gap, so that was a good point to come down, soup, and then we can go higher. We had low resistance liquidity sitting right here, and then we also have all-time highs over here, which basically lines up with the rest of that LR. Okay, dude, this shit's gonna piss me off. So with that being said, I wanted to see price manipulate lower at market open into this previous day low, and I also wanted to see a tap of this unfilled 15-minute gap, and actually right below it was also an unfilled 5-minute. So I wanted to see a tap into both of those and a rejection out, and that is exactly what we ended up getting. I was willing to take this 5-minute inversion to the upside if we could inverse it with this candle. We didn't end up doing so. Next candle we edged it as well, and then this candle we did, but it took out my break-even point. So at this point in time, I wanted to see just a continuation model. We come down and take out these 5-minute lows inside of this 5-minute gap, and then I can look for an inversion somewhere in like this leg right here. So that is what I was looking for. I was really bullish coming into this day. I liked what we had above, right? We had all this low resistance liquidity. There was session highs above. We had Asia highs all the way up here. We had London highs right here. We had these pre-market highs sitting right here as well. That I believe were relatively equal, or maybe equal. I don't think they were equal, but relatively equal highs sitting right there as well. So I was super bullish coming into this day. I was open to take shorts if the opportunity was super clear, but in my opinion, I just didn't see anything. We ended up getting a SMT with these market open highs that were inside of this 15-minute bearish for value gap right here. So I think this is where this first question comes into play. This 958 short, it was a 2-minute inversion. It's got to be within like one of these next two candles. 2-minute IFVG. Let's see what is sitting below. There was a unfilled 5-minute right here, and let's see if this ended up playing out. Oh, it did end up playing out. Yeah, so this was a super clean mech model down towards the unfilled 5-minute. 31-point stop loss. Just see, the only thing is the RR on this, right? Not the best RR. If you wanted to, you could have took it down to this unfilled 3-minute and went break even at the 5-minute, and that would have been very nice. But like I said, I was more focused on taking longs. So this did play out. It does look pretty nice. I'd give it about an A setup. Like I said, I was just leaning more bullish on the day. But when we did make this retrace, we ended up creating an SMT with these lows as well. Oh, and the reason I was taking longs off of here, I wanted to take longs because when we took out previous day on NASDAQ, we also created a previous day low SMT. So I forgot to mention that. But we did end up creating a SMT right here. So like I said, my draw was higher for the day towards all this LR and London highs above. So I was then looking for a 3-minute inversion right here, and we just could not get that. If we would have got it, I would have entered, but we just didn't get it, and we ended up shitting the bed all the way down to this unfilled hourly gap right here, which I believe there was on... What I was saying was I believe there's an unfilled 15-minute sitting right here, and there was. We ended up taking out both of those. We actually inversed the 15 minutes, so I wasn't really looking for anything at this point in time. I told Discord if they wanted to take a trade, if you wanted to take a long, you would have to wait for this 15-minute to get inversed, then a 5-minute condition to open up, a tap into that 5-minute condition, and an inversion out of it to look something like this, right? We inverse this, then a tap into the 5-minute, something like that. But I didn't want to take shorts because we had really no clear targets below. I told them if we did inverse this hourly gap at or before 11 o'clock, I would look for a manipulation higher into this 15-minute and then shorts from there. But we just didn't get that. We ended up tapping the 15-minute before we inversed hourly. So that was thrown out the window as well. So with that being said, let's go over this 1036 mech model. 1036, where are you? 1036 right here. I believe it was just 1 minute towards an unfilled 5. 1034. Looks like a 1034, but same thing. Long, it stops at the lows, targeting unfilled 5 minute for a 1.21 RR. We ended up coming down, hitting this hourly gap. I'm not going to click on it because it's just going to say fucking symbol invalid. And then we also tapped this 15-minute as well. Now, the reason I didn't like this is because it felt a little forced, right? We're extremely bearish, right? This leg is pretty dog shit. So typically when we want to enter off of like an inversion, we want to enter off of a version of the leg that sweeps past liquidity or taps into a higher time frame leg. And we actually did that here, but we want to take either the highest time frame inversion of that leg, or if let's say there's just like 3 1 minutes stacked, 3 1 minute for value gaps stacked on top of each other and there's nothing else, we want to wait till all 3 of those 1 minutes are inversed, right? So in this leg, well, what is there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, right? There's 4 1 minute for value gaps in this leg. So if I wanted to see an inversion, I would want to see some form of move higher and then a resweep, and then we can continue. Now he said 1036, but I don't see an entry at 1036 unless if it was a 30-second, and I just stay away from 30 seconds. 30 seconds are absolute dog shit. But I don't know if you guys have noticed pattern trends within the past like a month and a half or 2 months or so, but we are rarely ever getting retracements now, right? Whether I'm waiting for a continuation model or I'm forward testing a mech, no matter what it is, we just happen to not get that retracement, and price is just continuing either bullish or continuing bearish with no retracements, and then we'll tend to fill those gaps within either the PM session or even Asia London the following day, or even New York AM the following day as well. We'll leave those gaps for other sessions. So that is something I have noticed over the past like month or two. That's why I haven't really been taking mech models. However, if we did come down and let's say we did something like this, right? We just generate liquidity, all these lows right here. We come down, sweep it, and then see a clear V shape after the sweep and possibly even an SMT. Then yes, this would be super valid to target that unfilled, what's it called? Something like this, to target that unfilled gap, right? This would be an A++ setup. But since we just got a giant fucking move down and you're entering off the first 1 minute inversion you see, I understand we're looking for that retracement, but price hasn't been retracing lately, right? So we got to keep that in the back of our mind, and that is why this had failed. We did have our high time frame narrative, but again, I would try to stay away from the mechs unless if it's super obvious. See, here we go again. But yeah, as I was saying, we either want to take the highest time frame inversion, or we're going to have to wait till all those fair value gaps are inverse, right? If we have, like I said, 3 1 minute fair value gaps stacked on top of each other, we have to wait till all of them are inverse, and that is why this failed. So I hope that answers your question. If you have any other questions about this mech, feel free to ask. I don't know exactly what you need help with, so just feel free to ask me. And if you guys have any other questions about any other trades, go ahead and ask me, and I'll answer it in the comments. Up your allocation, use code LoeGpa. The link is in the description on Lucid Trades. 45% off, no activation fees, like $75 all in for a 50K account right now. Super cheap. Actually, the cheapest in the game. Their rules are super solid, and along with their payout rules as well. So go check it out. Do your own research if you guys want to buy it. Use code LoeGpa. If not, it is what it is. And I will catch y'all boys tomorrow. Hopefully, we take a trade tomorrow.